Hi, I'm Toni Swinehart with MCP's Full Court Press, brought to you by Spectrum Health Ludington Hospital's Multi-Specialty Clinic, as well as House of Flavors Incorporated. Today I'm here with Ed and Keri Sanders. They are a husband and wife team that coach both the middle school and the high school cross-country teams here at Mason County Central. So thank you both for taking the time out. We got rained out, so we had to come inside. We are actually in the library, so it's a nice quiet place. So how did you get started, and how did this come about?
Started my first year back here at Mason County Central after we moved back from Texas. They were in need of a cross-country coach, and then Mr. Jensen, the athletic director, asked me if I would coach cross-country, and I said I really didn't know anything much about it, only other than I did a little bit of it within Texas, but then also my freshman year I ran, and then I got out of it because it was too hard and went to football. But Mr. Jensen asked me if I would think about coaching it, and so we thought about it for a little bit, and we kind of jumped in together as like co-coaches. She was running every day and still runs every day, and so I thought she would run with the team and I would just pass out water. And that, well, it worked out pretty well, I guess. Right. It's always been, since I started, I've always just been stealing and learning from other coaches and teaching myself how to coach it, and this is our 21st year of doing it now.
Oh, wow. And then Keri, you do the middle school, and you mentioned that one of the reasons why middle school started was because of one boy.
Right.
So,
Jared Lauber in 7th grade track, he was just phenomenal, and he broke records, and he did great. And so we asked him if he wanted to try cross country. So he came and ran with the high school, and then we said we need to start a middle school team. So we got one started right away the next year, and we had Dan Deller, and we had just really some great guys came in, and then Chase Barnett, and so it ended up we now have an official team. It took until, like, we were just kind of doing it. I was doing it voluntarily just to get it going, and then so now officially it is one as of like 3 years.
Okay.
But I mean, look at Jared. He did a great job. Went to college and ran, and cross country is his sport. So it's kind of I'm glad we do it just for kids who don't play with a ball in their hands. You know what I mean? It's something for other kids to do.
Well, and it's a team sport, but it's also an individual, like they get personal records and they can be, succeed that way too, which is kind of nice for kids who don't want to necessarily, they want to be part of the team for part of the school, but they don't want to be, they want to have their own individual, like personal records, personal times. So that's kind of an advantage too for a lot of the same kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good for some kids who probably have never tried a sport, and more people can run a distance than they actually give it a try, because it is hard, but I don't know, a lot of kids have just been amazed by how they do when they give it a try.
Right. Well, and also too, you obviously would build up endurance, and especially if you continue with it. Because I know there's a lot of kids right now that are in the middle school and the high school program that have been doing it since they were in 6th grade, right? Because 6th grade, now when did they start including 6th graders in?
I want to say maybe
last year's group might have been the first one that graduated, being able to go all the way through,
I think so, that year or the year before.
So.
Okay. Oh, wow. So that's kind of neat.
Yes, yeah.
So when it comes to cross country, when you're doing the different meets and that type of thing, like you have regionals coming up on Halloween, actually, right?
Yeah.
And so how do they score it? Like, how do they place and give points, I guess you would say, right?
Yeah, so the way the scoring works is your top 5 runners, whatever place they come in, is the points that they're designated with. So if you were to come in first place, you go 1 point against the team. If I come in 15th place, I'm 15 points against the team. So you add up all 5 of our scores or places, and that's your team score. Normally you can run 7 varsity runners per meet. There's a lot of races, invitationals you go to that are open up to everybody, where all the high school boys run together at this time. And so it just depends on what the invitational or the running event is and how many kids you can put at the varsity level or JV level.
Okay.
But so that's how the scoring works, yeah.
And so for regionals, for instance, could you still take like 7 varsity girls and 7 varsity boys, and you base that on their times, right?
Correct, yeah. And
Okay.
so, and like, this year is an odd year because of the COVID thing, so we can only run a maximum of 70 runners per meet, or per
Okay.
race. And so, we actually tomorrow have a pre-regional race at Manistee, and then there's only 7 teams there. The top 4 teams move on to the regional, which is on Halloween. So you've got to get through pre-regionals to get to regionals this year. Normally, it's just one big regional meet where there's
Okay.
15 different teams, local or area, the same size schools,
Okay.
that you compete against, and then you just take the top 3 teams from there, and then you qualify for the state meet that way. So, you know,
Okay.
you got to get through pre-regionals this year to get to that point. But,
So an extra jump they don't normally have.
Right.
you know.
Now,
something-
when they run, can they wear like pants underneath and that type of thing? I mean, do they have to be probably color coordinated, right, with their uniforms, or?
Yeah, so in cross country, there's probably more uniform rules for cross country than probably any sport in the Michigan Athletic Association. Yeah, it's yeah, everything. If you wear an undergarment, it's all got to match, and if you wear a top garment underneath your tank top, it's all has to match, and there's just so many other little decal things you can't have, and
So now you also have a daughter, and she ran as well. And so what was that experience like for her?
Even when I talked to her, she would like to be a cross country coach someday. She
Oh,
just said it
wonderful.
just made such a big difference in her life, and just she still runs. She just still makes a point to say that it was the best part of her high school career. So that's kind of awesome, like
Yeah.
that your own kid really felt
Yes.
good about it too, even like with us right there.
Right.
So I don't know, we're just proud of all the kids that give it a try.
Right. Well, and that's kind of a testament to not only your longevity as coaching, but then also like all of these kids that and runners that come back, and your own daughter. You know, I played for my mom when she coached, and it's not always easy.
No.
So, you know, so that's really a wonderful testament to all that you've done here with the program, and like you said, the banners and everything. So, and what about the future? Are you going to continue to coach?
We plan on it until we retire. I mean, we
Okay.
plan on keeping up with it while we're here.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be with us and talk to us about this. Good luck at regionals and pre-regionals.
Thank you.
And hopefully you'll bring home some, maybe have somebody go to state. That would
we're
be
hoping
nice.
so. We've got some good possibilities. The boys team is really has a chance, and then our number 1 girl, Nia Tyron, right now is she just the other day ran the 7th fastest time in school history, so she's off to a
wow.
pretty good year right now too.
Oh,
So,
wonderful.
and this is her first year. She came over from volleyball as a senior, so she never ran until this year, and so she's having really a spectacular year. So,
Oh, great.
yeah, so we're excited.
All right. Well, thank you so much again. And for more news, go to MasonCountyPress.com.